All right. Well, how are you all going? How's everyone feeling? Like, you guys have had some homework to make some stuff and write some things. I haven't seen a whole lot in the chat that you shared with us. So I'm just wondering, are people feeling a bit like overwhelmed by it, or are you just not sharing it, or what is it? How are you feeling about making this stuff? Yeah, go, Kylie.
Can I start? Sorry, Stan. Only
Yep.
I've got to jump on the plane soon.
Yeah,
Hey,
please.
it's awesome to see everybody again. I got bloody knocked out last week, so yeah. But the exhibition went really well. That was well received by everybody. It was awesome. So for me, so I'm doubling down on the short little Wainanga clips, Stan. You know, the
Yep.
little
Yep.
impactful moments. So doubling down on those. I put a couple of um LinkedIn posts in the feed.
Yep.
How did they look?
Good. We all gave you some feedback last week, so I
Oh,
should probably
sweet.
get you the clips. I should probably get you the clips actually out of the recording. But they were good. And also what I like is that you posted a couple
Yeah,
and they seem to be going all right on your LinkedIn.
they do.
How do you feel about them on your LinkedIn?
I like it because it's not normally how I would write.
Yeah.
And in fact I'm a real well, I don't think I'm a good writer, so then video's just easier for me.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a space where I think is going to be, a lot better. But I love the format in terms of, the setup, the problem, and then fixing it. Because I have a tendency of not showing people what the problems are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just try to make it, look like it's all cool and we're, got our shit all sorted. Yeah, so I really like that. And like you said, it's already started having some hits on there. So that's cool.
Yeah.
And I started to sorry.
Now, I'm just going to give you some quick feedback before we move on from that post because we all quite liked it actually. We came up with the idea that like the opening line for it, the hook of it, is that did you guys know Gary V was Maori?
Yeah, yeah. I do
And
call
like
him my uncle.
yeah, and like because of the whole idea we're talking about like what you like it was a real good post, that one about like tying that concept of jab jab right hook, into Maori culture and the way that like you look at life.
Yeah.
And so we think it was like a real strong post. We really liked it, and we think there's like a quite a cool little culture hack you could probably have a play on there, where you really like people would be like, wait, what the fuck? Like, is Gary V Maori? Like, and so I will try to find the part in the recording, and I'll send it to you so you can watch us talk about it, because like we all kind of jumped in and gave our 2 cents about it, and like I think there's like a real powerful like little niche there that you could own about like showcasing how this like topic of jab jab right hook that the rest of the world like thought was amazing is something that
Yeah.
you and your culture just is normal. It's normal.
Yeah. It's like between Gary V and the likes of the hip hop preacher, and that whole idea around business and branding is something that I love, but I don't share that often. Like I just stay in my lane in terms of, these are the wānanga that I run. So I like giving people a bit of more of an insight on how I think, and like you said, how I can see the similarities between personal branding and Te Ao Māori, or even
Yeah.
not just the entrepreneurship in general.
Yeah. No, it's cool. Sorry, I cut you off, so carry on.
So there's only a couple of things that I'd like to tie up before we finish off in the next couple of weeks. One was I'm still not sure around, and I don't think it's the campaign, but it's like more the characters between, like the relationship between me and my daughter. Like, do we just go with our natural relationship, or are we playing on that a little bit, or?
Whenever you like highlighting a relationship on camera between two real people, you never want it to be completely manufactured. You always want it to be like a heightened version of what it already is. Like Joni and I playing the way we are, boss versus employee, I'm being grumpy, her being the brat. Like we are those people we just dial it up to 11 when we get on camera.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, I don't have to dial it up very much, but like, she has to play the brat a little bit more than she usually is. I play Grumpy pretty easily. So, but like, you guys can probably figure out what are the characteristics that you're trying to portray that are at odds with each other, and then you just dial them up for the camera, right? You don't want to try play something you're not, because it's just hard. It's just hard to do all the time. So that's why we use the like Shrek and Donkey as like a thing, because like it's easy to communicate to other people, but also for me it's easy to know how Shrek would act in that situation. So when a situation comes up, I'm like, well, I know what he's going to do. He's going to be a grumpy prick, and he's going to be annoying just to be annoying. Like, he's going to say no just to be a dick, just out of spite, And then Donkey will always just like keep trying. Like, I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to keep going until I get what I want. And so like, you kind of know those situations. So if I was you, I would like think about what is the dynamic that you have between your daughter. And is there characters that you can align that to so that it's easier for you to understand and slip into character, or just if you don't need that as a tool to use, then don't use it. When we did talk about this last time, though, we talked about potentially siphoning that off into a second channel.
Yeah.
You don't have to, because it's like becomes 2 channels to manage. But do you think, like, I am curious to whether or not the more heartfelt content and the humorous content can live so cohesively on one channel?
Right. Yeah. Good point.
Like, I'm not sure. I don't know. What do you think? It's quite hard to do,
I mean, you could always use it as a testing place, like piloting, right? Just pilot, see how they do next to each other, and then if one is taking a hit, kind of like your podcast clip scenario, you then
move it to somewhere else.
I wouldn't do it straight away.
One over, or move the poor performing one over. Move the poor performing way. Yeah. So that what we're just saying there is you're running them side by side, just a testing. So while you're still getting the concept right, you don't have to have them manage another channel.
Yeah.
And then whichever style takes off first, keep that one there, and then move the other one to a separate channel.
Right.
Because it is 2 very stark things. They might end up both working together, but often it's quite hard to do. Like right now on my TikTok, because my podcast clips have been going really viral recently.
Yeah.
Anything that's not a podcast clip, like, just dies. Like, I get like, I mean, like, I get 400 views on my things, and I got like 20-something thousand followers, and I get like 400 views, but then my podcast clip we get 100,000, and I'm like, oh fuck, but which is good, because the podcast is good. Like, it's a big part of what we want it. We want it to go like that. We've been trying so hard to get it to get there. But now I've got to have a think. Should the podcast live on its own channel as a standalone channel? Or, like, what do I do there, and how do I make it work? It's not a bad problem to have, because now I've got to choose. I've got one really successful strategy. But I do have a feeling that, like, your real heartfelt content is already the overperforming content style on it. It is really good. Like, I love those. I love those clips. Whenever I see them, I always watch those clips through. Whereas the skit style stuff, it's not really a style. Like, the content we make on Taz isn't really content I watch.
I don't.
Yeah, lots of people do, obviously, but it's not really something I watch a lot of. And so, I don't really watch a lot of that. Oh, actually, I don't even see it. I don't even really see it. I have to go to your channel to see any of the funny ones that you guys have done in the past. I've always seen your more heartfelt ones come up on my page.
It's interesting you say that, because that's the easier stuff to do as well, the heartfelt stuff, because it's actually, I'm just documenting it. I'm not having to set it up.
Yeah.
And even our daily vlogs, like, fuck, they take me so long just to do my shit editing. And like you said, and they actually don't. So, if it is a point of, being able to drop one then and make it easier, then
just do the heartfelt stuff, man. If you've got it, if it's time. The heartfelt stuff's so good. It's such nice content too. Like, it's really good content. I really enjoy it too. I think it's great stuff that you got. And what will end up happening is that, because if you're going to double down on it, then you'll end up just finding better stories. And you'll find better stuff, because like all your attention goes to that. Whereas like doing a vlog is so much mental effort. And that goes for everyone. Like I've got so much footage on my phone from New York, and I've not put a vlog out. I've got so much. I could make a 45-minute vlog with all the content, but I'm like, who the fuck wants to edit this? I don't want to touch it. Can't
And
be
it will
bothered.
perform badly too.
And we'll get nothing.
Like I'm the same. We'll film the whole day, think it's gonna be the best thing ever, fully edit it for like 5 hours, post it, and it's always my worst performing content.
Oh yeah, last week clips, like
Yeah.
7,000 views, like
It's so bad.
so bad. It's just because, like, yeah, I just they're sometimes okay, and like the ones that we've done recently where they make sense. Like, and this is a good point for a lot of people. Like, you'll see our most recent clips of us doing stuff in New York.
Mhm.
The whole purpose of those clips are just to show core audience that we're in New York. That's all it is. We don't care if it doesn't go viral. We just want a few of those. There's still 7,000 people seeing it. Like, man, if I'll stand in front of a crowd of 7,000 people, like that's a great crowd to be in front of. I just want people to know. So we're building lore around it, but it's not a long-term strategy. At some point, like people are gonna be like, this content sucks. Like, why are you showing us this content? Like, we obviously don't like it. That's why we're not watching it. So stop giving it to us. But your real half-out ones aren't like that. They're very good. Like, push them out. If you want to do a vlog because it's a really cool day, then just do it. Like, there's no reason not to do it. But the campaign is the half-out stuff.
Yeah.
And concentrate on that. Find more ways to film it, more ways to capture it. You know, maybe if you double down on it, then you've got like, if you're going to get support, like if you get a freelancer to help you edit or something like that, or whatever, or a camera person, that's where you might want to invest the money into.
Yeah, that makes sense, actually.
Also, on all of that, did you end up, I didn't see it, but did you end up posting the AI one?
No, so what I'm just, why didn't I? I'm just trying to bank up a couple first, so then I can like put a few of them out. Yeah. But probably next week you'll start to see them pop up.
Okay. I still think that's worth a try. Like, I still think that's worth just to have a good laugh, just to see how it goes. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't think I saw it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, that's all good. All right. And just quickly, because there's some people here who went last week. We said last week that this is about to like, I think, what have we got? One more session or something of this? Yeah, one more session. But what we wanted to say to everyone is that we realized that we spent way too long on positioning and stuff here rather than on content creation and agile content production. We realized that Dave actually gave us some real good advice when he emailed me with some stuff, and I agree with him. And so we've actually changed the way we're going to do the next cohort to be far more content heavy. So what we have also said to everyone is that you guys are all more than welcome to join the second cohort completely free. Like, you don't have to obviously pay for it. We're just really grateful that you guys gave us this opportunity to, one, help us build our product as well, but two, we want to be able to just make sure you guys get the most out of it. So even if you drop in and out of the next 12 weeks, you don't have to come to all of them. But the first 3 or 4 weeks will still be some positioning, learning things. And then the week 5 to week 12 pretty much will all still be content heavy. So even if you want to take a few weeks to start like trialing to make some content and then come back in like say September and then be like, all right, I've put all this out, give me some feedback, and we'll just have you as part of the crew. But you're more than welcome to stay the whole time too. Like, come every week if you want. We're still going to talk about stuff. You're still going to have the chat functionality, still be able to put in videos for feedback or content. So just want to make sure, because there's a few people who weren't here last week. That's something we really want to make sure that you guys all have access to. Okay.
Awesome. That sounds cool.
Yeah. Okay. How everyone else? Like, Roman, can I ask you, how did you feel last week? You came in, the guys helped you talk a bit on camera.
Yeah, no, it was cool. I think I showed a few people, and it was amazing because, like, so the funniest one would be like, I showed my dad, and he's awesome, but he can't listen to 10 seconds of what I say. And he just, I've never seen it before. He just sat there, and then he listened to the whole thing, and he goes, "Shit, you're doing well, son." Like that, and he was like, "That sounds like you know what you're talking about." And I thought it was really, really cool. So yeah, no, like I learned heaps just doing that. I think I'm just super critical because I'm like, I need to learn better how to deliver the lines in that way. But I think it was Conrad. Like, it was amazing. Yep. He did such a good job, and no, I just learned so much from it. I definitely want to do more. And I think whether it's like explicitly like the how-to thing, or if actually, because the thought I had after that was, fuck, I should take every single lecture I've ever done and I should just turn it into a 3-minute thing. And there's a lot there. So yeah, it might take me a while before I get, like, Kylie was talking about that. I totally understand the stock thing, because how am I going to get to the point where I feel like I can post them with enough regularity? But I really loved it because it just had so much implication to it. Like I was like, oh, okay, you've got this now. If you take some cool stock videos and stuff that you and your friends have made and just cut that in between, so we're not looking at your face the whole time, but just like a little bit, it would be, I thought it was really cool. So I think I was going to post it, but I realized then that into the chat thing, but I realized it's 300 megabytes or something. So I was like, oh, probably is going to kill the kill team. So I might not.
It won't kill it. If you want to put it in, like, I reckon you should, because I've yet to watch it, but I can.
All right.
If you've got it there, put it in. I think we should watch it, and we can talk through, and then once it's loaded in, we'll stop and watch it. Because, I hadn't watched it yet because I wanted to watch it with everyone else. Because obviously I got the link, so I wanted to watch it with everyone. So let it. It looks cool. I've seen the opening frame, and I was like, "Fine, this looks super pro." Like,
I didn't actually notice that he did 2 cameras, which it's so effective. It's such a simple trick. So it's just like one here and then one there, and then I guess if you get bored, you just change. And so it's kind of quite a nice way to keep pace. And
Well, what we'll do is once that's loaded up, we'll all watch it, and then and we'll talk through it, because I think it's important, because like one of the other things about doing that is that there's a lot of lessons you ought to learn for just everyone doing some talking head content, and I think we can talk through all of that stuff with everyone. I think it's really good.
All right,
Nick,
I'm just airdropping.
Oh yeah, how about you guys did a session 2 weeks ago now with the guys? How did you go with that? Like, how'd you feel about it?
Stan, like I'm keen to rip into it. Dave's a bit more apprehensive. So also currently we're I'm keen to rip into it. Dave's a little bit more apprehensive. I know that we're also having a separate thread. So I mean, in terms of your recommendation that you sent to Dave, I'm going to bully him to just make the decision on that and say yes to your email, so we can actually get some stuff done. Because again, if I'm not going to do it, we need someone to do it. I just think Dave is not. He doesn't believe in himself to be able to actually just get onto social media, which is funny because he lives on TikTok, just watching TikTok. And he's got such an opinion on it. He's got such a, he knows what's going, he knows what's going on, but he's just I just don't, I think he's still just missing the connection of me as Dave. What am I, I own a software company. How's that going to stick in social media? And he's just not. He's not confident enough to just back himself and rip into it. That's currently where we're at right now.
Okay. What about just in terms of the session that you had with the Curls and Busky? Did you learn anything in that was worth sharing with the guys? Was there anything in that session? I know you might not be able to go do it yourselves, but was there anything that you got out of that you thought was quite interesting?
So also just for some context, for the larger team, we don't have a great social media presence. We haven't posted kind of anything on social media for a good few months, probably since the beginning of the year. So in essence, we're starting from zero, if we can call it that, across our profile. So the one thing which I thought was really interesting is actually just posting content on a regular cadence. It doesn't and their feedback was it doesn't really necessarily make a difference on what you're posting. it just needs to be something to establish some sort of a base. And then from there, you're able to then start actually refining and tweaking. But to try and come out with the perfect polished video that's going to, be an instant success off the bat, it's naive to think that, and I think certainly the thing that like is evident for the whole of the attention seeker team is you guys are super consistent on posting regularly across your platforms. And it's that like ritual of I'm going to do it every single day or every second day. And today's post might not hit, but next post is probably going to hit. They weren't super obvious in it, but I suppose the businessman in me is like, there's a numbers game here. And like, I'm curious, Dan, maybe to put you on the spot, like what's the recipe on the numbers game? Because I feel like there's something that you guys have cracked in terms of like, if you're going to produce, 50, 20, 100 pieces of content, that, on average, you're going to get to, an engagement of Y or something like that. So I think that was what they were alluding to around like, you guys just need to just start posting some stuff. And then just internally, like with posting on LinkedIn. So Charlotte's copy that she gave to us, it was really, really useful, but we can't use it just yet because it also potentially, the topic that we gave her to as reference is going to potentially piss off our content partners, which we don't necessarily want to do right now. So like, it's super useful in terms of us like actually just having the structure and the process. But for us to have pulled the trigger on that would have probably caused a little bit of fire with some of our content partners, which which we're not really ready to start doing. But yesterday's board meeting, the board's actually really keen for us to get going on this, because their assessment on things is really just from a brand awareness, like we're just non-existent, and they're like, everyone who gets onto VidApp loves your product. Everyone who uses it stays with VidApp. No one knows who you are. So all you need to do is just fix that and you'll be cruising.
Awesome. There's some good advice, like, and I'm glad the guys sing the same song that we're singing, is that like the quantity approach to content is really just about like, for me personally, it's that none of us can hand on heart say we can make a banger video every time we make one. Like if my team could say to me, Stan, every time I make a video, it's going to get 5 million views. If they could hand on heart say that, I'd say, cool, just make 2 a month. Because we only need 10 million views, only need 10 million. Yeah. But like I would take 10 million views a month and be like, yeah, that's fine. Sweet, give me 2 videos. But there's no way, like even Joni, as good as she is, could never, ever guarantee me that. So the reason why we're consistent is that like actually the more often you make content, the easier the ideas for the next video come. Way easier, because like you're constantly thinking, like it's just constantly coming through and it's constantly going in your head. So I actually think like the quantity thing, although like I'll push the team quite hard at some points, like earlier this year, we had a whole new team. There's a whole new internal team. So I just made them do 50 a week. Like they went all in and like they created this whole system and it was great. Like it did what it did and we got heaps of viewership from it, but it wasn't the right thing. So it's too much quantity. But what it did do is it got them seeing all the things they shouldn't be doing. They taught them so much. So we don't do quantity for quantity's sake. We do quantity for like a point. And one of the points is to get the right ideas, keep the ideas coming, but also because we can't guarantee that every video we make is going to be a banger. And so we need to keep trying stuff. And then and what we've been trying to do with you guys is find an easy content style. Just start with an easy content style that all of you guys can produce quite efficiently. You know, like say for Roman's as a talking head, so he could talk for a couple of hours to cameras, get 10 or 15 videos done if he really wanted to, you know. And then Carly's ones is documenting, like his ones. I mean, the most of Carly's work is going through all the footage, but actually like capturing it's actually quite easy. You just film the thing he does anyway. And then when it comes to even like the Erin or the other guy, Jennifer, when they're doing how-to ones, it's not easy in that you can just pump them out. But it's like the craft is easy
Yeah.
because we make chocolate or caramel or smoked salmon or whatever it might be. So quantity is it's a double-edged sword. Like I don't want to be just do Connie for Connie's sake, but you have it for a reason. Yeah, so it is for a reason. But that is a good lesson to learn. So I'm glad that you got it. Before we move on, I would like us to go watch Roman's video. It's now in the chat. So I'm not going to share it because it never comes through properly. So what we'll do, it's not that long. So if everyone wants to jump in the chat, watch Roman's video, and then we'll come back and we'll have a chat about it. If that's all right.
Where is it in the chat? That's the Cohort chat, right? Cohort. Where is it? We can't see the video, guys. Don't know what we're doing wrong. Oh, there it is.
This time teaching, I wrote a paper called
I can use it.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
That was so cool, bro. That was mean.
It's great.
That was really cool, and you're so natural in front of the
Yeah.
camera as well.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
The only thing for me is it almost looks too polished, and I'd like to see you in some like messy lecture room type of stuff. And it's almost like the hook is like a student comes up to you and goes, "Oh, hey, Roman, what's blah 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 blah," and you go, "Oh, wow." And then you just do your rave, but just being able to do raves like that, that's mean.
Yeah. Looked really good. What other feedback do we have, guys, before we all jump in? Because,
I love the hands.
yeah.
Like, so expressive. I'm just obsessed. I'm just like looking at it all the time. It's great.
Yeah.
That's funny. I was thinking it was weird to like, because I started and I didn't know what to do with them, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'm just."
Holding them here.
Got it.
I love it. It's so
Yeah.
good.
Mm,
Really
that
good.
is good.
Yeah. Anything else? Any other thoughts or feelings?
Just what like you were saying before too, Stan. Like you could actually just cut all your lectures up, Roman. Just have cameras in different positions and just rave for 3 hours, and then get someone to go and make them into a little 1-minute snippets, and then give them a title.
Actually, on that, another way to even think about this too, Roman, because like you're thinking about taking a whole lecture, writing down into a 2-3 minute script, right? You could just put on like how we have Otter note taker in ours, have it Otter taking all your notes, and then ask it to summarize your whole lecture into a 3-minute script, and then you edit that script to make it better, so it makes it way faster for you to do, and then you take that and deliver it to camera. That could be a way to do it. Like, the AI is not going to give you the polished script. It'll never be good enough, but it'll be okay. It'll give you structure, especially, and you can tell it to give you structure too. You can tell it the structure to write the response in, and then you go and edit it to make sure it lands the way you want it to land. And then that saves you from like, having to try and write it yourself. It's way easier to start from something than a blank piece of paper.
Yeah, it's interesting because I could just take my phone and just record it like that, and then it's like it's fairly unintrusive. Because I like the idea of putting cameras everywhere in the class, but I could also feel quite a lot of complaints of that. I didn't sign up for a reality TV show. Which gives me a different
Until
idea.
you go famous, and then they'll all want to be in your lecture theatre.
Yeah.
Any other feedback from anyone else? Oh, sorry,
I thought the content was really refreshing. Like, I haven't really heard that kind of academic talk before. Yeah, I've done a little bit of teaching at WinTech here in Hamilton, and you're on another level, Roman. So I just feel like there's so much value there in the industry that you could deliver and bring.
I do think that my experience was pretty negative at first. Like I think that most students have that, and then they learn to just gradually accept it. But I don't think they should. I really think that it's even just with just something like AI, the teachers will try to hold it back when actually they should just open it up. Like, that idea of putting Otter in there just to solve the problem of writing it down. Because, otherwise it'll be 3 years later, hey, Roman, what happened to those lectures? You were going to post them. So no, just finding a tool that that automatically does it. I didn't think about just transcription. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So feedback from me, and people can jump in if you've got some more, but Jane and I were saying, like, from an editing perspective, I'd probably do 2 things to help keep the engagement. One is signposting, because you made a couple of points throughout that 3 minutes, and so signposting, which is essentially just like text on screen at some point, or in this particular instance, I'd probably make the text quite nice looking. I think this is a really good LinkedIn YouTube video, and I think you can get away with like a nicer font, like it looks more professional rather than like shitty like TikTok, on screen text. But so you can get it looking quite professional because it's filmed that way. It'd be silly to not do that actually. But signposting is like, it allows my eyes to rest on something to go, okay, I get where I'm at this point in time. Like I know where I'm with him still. Yeah, okay, still talking about the thing. So signposting is a good one for such a long clip, because
it feels like chapters.
Yeah, it's like chapters as you go through it. Like you might have seen, I did a 10-minute like life update clip earlier on in the year. It was 10 minutes long on TikTok, but I did like I think I had like 8 chapters for it, and I signposted it with like a progress bar at the bottom. And you can see in the retention that people jumped around and watched where they wanted to watch, as opposed to having to watch, like, not everyone watched the whole thing through, but people were like, oh, I want to hear about influencers, I'll write that, or I want to hear about whatever. So signposting. The other piece is that Joni brought up was like B-roll, like using, like, how can you use some B-roll to tell the story? Like, you know, you talk about AI or whatever and these different parts, or like YouTube or how-to guides. Like, how can you just get some stock footage that just shows the thing, like, represents visually the thing you're talking about, just to cut to, which obviously you didn't, like, you know, Connor helped you with this, but that could be a way to enhance this video even further. Because actually that sort of like cutaway B-roll video, I mean, those videos go off on YouTube. Off. And if you titled it something like, you know, something like real clickbaity, like that professors or lecturers should be using more AI and you know, whatever, or something like that, like just something real hooky on YouTube, like it'll go off.
Are you saying as a separate video, or like at the end of this video?
Oh, no. So as part of this video, you mean with the B-roll?
Yeah.
The B-roll I would overlay. So like as he's talking, when he gets onto a particular topic, it would cut from him to the other video, but his voice would keep going through it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So it just cuts away. It just gives the brain something visual to distract them, to give them more attention, like hold their attention, but also like allows you to go like be more concentrated on what he's saying because you're visually seeing what he's talking about as well. Yeah.
I got like a little I'm trying to find it, couldn't find it. I got a nice little shout out from ACM. That's the kind of place that I'm going to be talking at in Denver, and they put it onto their showcase, but they retitled it because they make them a bit more like clicky, and they titled it essays, sorry, are how-tos the new essay.
Yeah.
And like that, it was way simpler. It's like, yeah, no, that's exactly what I was saying. So yeah, no, it's nice.
Yeah. I like it. I think it's good. I actually think you're very good at talking on camera, like for someone who reckons he hasn't done it or isn't very good at it. Like, hey,
Oh, sure. Thank you.
The way you talk on camera is the way you talk here, at least. I mean, I don't know you from any other situation, so like, unless this is just you talking on camera as well, it's the same as that. It seems like your natural voice is coming through, and I guess it probably comes down to the fact that you're a lecturer, like you're a teacher, you teach. You have to talk to people all day. That's your whole thing. So, actually, I don't think you've got too much of an issue there. I think your issue is going to be, can I make this at scale enough? You don't have to make like one a day at this level. You could do one a week even, like, because your job isn't to get 10 million followers right now. Your job is to just slowly build a thought leadership thing, and you can do that with one or two of these a week.
Yeah, I think I think 10 million followers would be bad in a weird way. Yeah, because it would probably reduce the chance of it having an impact in the areas that I want. Like maybe not, but yeah, you want to have that slow influence. Like, you know, when Tonga was saying, "Oh, my friends at Wintech need to do this." Like, yeah, it needs. I want it to become like a standard thing that we do more engaging stuff.
There's an interesting point on that when you take a stance against something, like if you're taking a stance against essays, which is like an entrenched incumbent in this world, like if you really take a stance against it, you'll get enough viewership. You might not get the 10 million, but you'll get enough that like it makes enough noise that people will listen. You still got to remember that, like, when you take a slow approach to stuff, even if you're taking it slower than, like, you know, say Jordan Peterson did with his approach to getting his message out, like, which he went real after. You're not attacking a person when you're attacking essays. You're just attacking an idea. And so it's okay to do that. And so I think, which is what you're doing already, but I think you can still definitely attack the essay, attack the idea of the essay, and attack the idea of lecturers and teachers gatekeeping technology that helps people learn better. or do more or whatever it is, you know. So I think there's still something. Don't be afraid to push that. You just don't have to do it like there's a line that you probably won't want to cross.
There's another thought that I was having. So I'm kind of enjoying this, and there are, definitely the educator artist is a type of artist, but one thought I have, because so for me, when I think about, how everyone's like, okay, you got to signpost, you got to like keep us with you, and I get this even from my boss. He's not even here, but it's just like basically, don't go too fast. Like, I'll just go across the 10 things, and I'm like, okay, those are the 10 things that you need to start with, and then we can go. And I guess that also matters for branding as well. So like,
yeah,
I do feel like I would like to do this, and then I think I'd like to do 10 other things. And it was quite cool hearing what you were saying about with Kylie. Maybe try it out on the platform, and if it kills the other one, just move it to another. When you said channel, this was a question that I had at the time.
Yeah.
Do you mean like create 2 YouTube channels, or
Yeah.
when you say channel, do you mean go to TikTok with one of them, or?
It could be. It's just another profile altogether, like another. Yeah. It could be a second TikTok account, a second YouTube account, Instagram, wherever you think it might be better placed. For most of you at the moment, you're not going to be able to handle multiple accounts, multiple different users. You're just not going to have the resources to do it at the moment because it's a lot. Like, it's a lot of work. And so Kylie's probably in a slightly different place because he's got a bit of it. Like, they've been doing it a bit longer, and their processes are a bit more entrenched. So with those of you who are trying now where you're all at, and I would try to keep it all to one. But then when you are ready and you think, okay, I've got a process down, but actually I need to shift this off this channel, create a whole new channel. But if you're only going to create a new channel if it makes sense, like with Kylie, it makes sense in his world because he's got the heartfelt content, which is what he's been doing, and that's what they do. It's actually what the business does. The sort of like father-daughter dynamic would come off as his daughter's channel. Like, it would be her channel that they would do it on. And so that makes sense because it is another channel that you may like find a whole new audience in. Whereas if you're just doing like if you did like heartfelt content in the women's group and then heartfelt content in the men's group, it doesn't probably make as much sense to split it, right? Like, there isn't a small argument for it, but it probably doesn't make any thing. So in your sense, Roman, like if you've got 2 ideas you're trying to get across, but they're still coming from Roman, the artist teacher, I wouldn't split them into different channels. I would keep them all on the same one. Yeah. And you're okay to have 10 different ideas go through it. Like I have. I mean, my channel is a wish-wash of crap. Like, there's heaps of stuff. But there's a common theme about it. It's just like a business owner trying to make his way through the world, right? That's like what my channel's about. So as long as you're like artist teacher ideas there, if you ramble off and get into like start talking about the American politics or something, then you're probably like, okay, what the fuck is this guy on about, right? So you probably don't want to start that. You might get a lot of clickbait, but like it's probably not where you want to go. Yeah. Cool. All right. Any last feedback for Roman from that, or anyone see anything in that because they might have seen themselves doing something like that and want to ask questions about it before we move on?
Yeah, I think so.
No. Okay. Next, I wouldn't mind talking to Erin and asking you about the Will It Caramel video and just like what you guys thought about it. How was it to create? Just your feedback on it yourself. Has everyone else has seen it, Because those of you here last week, Nick, did you manage to watch the? No. It is in
no,
there.
not yet. I'll go check it out now.
Nick, so you can watch it. Yeah, while we talk about it, it's in there. There's 2 videos that they posted. It's the Gotcha Jum one that I'm referencing. So Erin, tell us about it. Like, how'd you feel about it? How was it to make and everything like that?
It's been a lot of fun dabbling and getting the tripod and the lights and and we know that video is quite flawed, but it still works.
Yeah, still did all right.
It's still okay. We were both quite sick last week, so we didn't do. We started a blue cheese one, but then he burnt it, which I can't tell, but apparently all the chefs will make fun of him, so he's got to do it again. Yeah, I like the idea of Nick's comment about turning it into a ritual, and certainly talking about content through our daily day is that's quite present now, which is pretty cool. And lots of ideas coming up, and they just get written on the kitchen wall. Looking forward to doing the next one, and just getting.
Have you got some ideas on the next one?
Ideas on the next one. I think you guys had some good ones of the more the signposting at the beginning, so making the gochujang the headline, and just tidying things up, really. Yeah. Just making it slick. And I wondered, with the painting of the chocolate, that's very soothing. I wonder if we write things. Do we make it funny? Or do we just keep it slick? I think probably just keep it slick.
My advice is to keep it as simple as possible to begin with, and add to it as you find a rhythm.
Right.
Like when you have too many elements, you've got too many things to control, and then too many things to know which part of it made it successful. So, like, I would try to strip it right back to. I mean, actually, what it had was pretty good. Like, and actually, how you guys, I don't know if those of you saw it on Instagram, like saw how who watched it last week, saw how they reframed it all as well. And so they got it all in 9:16. It looked really clean. Like from what we watched, because it was all like half horizontal, half vertical, like it was kind of like a mess of a thing. And we told him like, get it all nice. And I don't know who did it, but like you guys did it. And it was great. So I think actually like that structure was real good. All we really said was just like, I got his point about the Baron walking in, but it just needed to have something up front. That first frame needed to be like, could be screenshotted, and people would know what you're about to do, essentially.
Yeah.
That's all. Just to hook in people who don't already know you, because it did all right. Like, like on Instagram, it got 2,000 views and a bunch of comments on it, 15 comments or something like that. So like, it didn't do too badly. And given that it didn't have a real strong initial hook. So I think I am not. Like, I think it's great. I think you guys should. This is everyone actually. When you're doing like a more involved shoot, which the guys who are doing the Willet series are 100% more involved shooting. Yeah, you need a book time in the diary, and you need to have 2 bits for diary booking. One for storyboarding, almost is probably the easiest way to call it. That's one session. It's like sit down and just go, what are the shots that we need, and what do I need, and what's all the stuff I have to get all those shots, and then the time to actually go get all the shots and then actually book it in. If you don't put it in the calendar and invite everyone that you need, it just won't ever happen. Like if Janie ever wants to do anything with me, it has to be in the calendar. She has to have me an agenda for what I'm going to do on the day. Otherwise, we won't do it. Like, if there's always something that's going to pull us away, always.
Yeah.
And these 1-minute clips that you make, what do they take? Like an hour or 2? Like maybe 3 to film?
Fucking day.
Plus, yeah, all day. Like, yeah, exactly. It's like, it's not a small task. So don't try and just wing it. It's going to be the same even with you, Tonga, if you're going to try do some more like design style stuff, or like trying to plan out shots, or you're going on a work trip, you're going to do a day in the life of the designer, Tonga, like you want to map those out. Like it's like I was saying before, I've got like 45 minutes worth of footage I could make something with, and I just haven't, because I haven't planned it. I've done no planning, because I mean, I'm two and a bit weeks now into New York. I've just been running, trying to stay awake, let's be honest. But for me to start doing vlogs, I have to start planning. I have to have a plan for how the vlog is, what I need to capture at each piece. And it's no different to all of you guys when you're doing these bullet series, or anything that's a little bit more complex than talking to camera.
Yeah.
Just book it in, book the time, and like, and actually what ends up happening is you end up finding like getting more efficient at doing it as well. And you find out, okay, it doesn't actually take me 6 hours. If I, and it actually, if you're anything like me, what I end up doing, like when it's like a repeated shot, I'll be like, fuck, just buy the stuff that everything's there. Like, that's why our studio, you walk in, you flick the lights, and all the studio lights come on. Like up behind the boys up here, there's all studio lights. Because I'm like, I don't want to fucking set up a C stand and plug in lights to fucking film some shit. I just want to go on the wall, flick it on, and start filming.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, that's a bit weird. This is what we do, so it makes sense to have this sort of stuff. But like, this isn't, not all studios will have this setup like this. Like, it's not a normal thing. Well, in prop studios it might be. But so anyway, my point is plan. And then as you do it a few times, you'll start to realize, okay, I really need a light here. Like Jennifer, for instance, you probably need to find a way to get a light inside the smoker that's really bright to start getting that really good shot of the smoker, like a light that can handle the heat.
Yeah.
Or something like that, that's saying like that would be awesome to be able to get that shot.
Yeah, it would, yeah.
So same thing for you, Aaron. Just like, what is it? Like, plan the time, and as you do a few more of them, because they take so long, what can you set up to make it easier?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely
One thing that might be worthwhile, Aaron, is hiring like a local food videographer, like someone who makes short clips for one day.
Yeah.
And just have them, and like have what you're going to do planned out, and get them to come in and set up lighting and cameras with you. Like all the shots and angles. Like you might pay them a bit of money to come in for a day, but they're probably only going to charge like 150 an hour or something, 200 an hour, like a local small TikTok creator or something. But then they can help you, like, okay, this is how I would do it if I was going to do the whole thing. And then they'll walk you through the whole process, and then you just, if anything, set up a camera and film the whole thing so you can go back and refer to it later on if you need to. But that could be a real good way to like fast track it, because we could jump on a call with you and show you through it, but it's way different until you're right there with someone, because you're going to try stuff, look at it, oh, it's not quite right, let's try it again. And we can do that. Like, we gave some feedback, last week where you needed lighting because you did top-down shots. So if you're going to do top-down shots, you need it to be flatter and more widely lit. So we can give that feedback. But as a fast track, like, you could just
To be taught it.
Right then and there. Yeah, in your specific space. Because we can give you all the feedback generally, but in your specific space that you've got to work with and your constraints, it wouldn't cost a lot. Like, you'd probably get if you can't find someone too, I could probably have a look around. Like, we know I've seen lots of creators and can find someone.
Yeah.
It wouldn't cost a fortune to do it, because you're not asking for their influence, you're just asking for the expertise.
Yeah. Well, if you know anyone, let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully my note taker reminds me. Note taker, Otter, tell me to do this. I'll get Shy to help me find it. Yeah. No, it's good though. But that video was good. I like it. Okay. What else? Jennifer, you've been putting some audios over the top of your salmon slicing.
Just trying a few different things. And
yeah. Tell us a little bit about what you tried and what you've learned.
So I did, because usually it's just like songs over top, and then I just went out, I was randomly scrolling through TikTok, and then there was like, how there's like motivational audio and stuff of like people saying nice inspirational things. So I just decided to take that audio and put it over top and see what happened. So I've done that for a few different ones, and some of them did get a little more engagement than just the basic music, and then some haven't, depending. So I'll keep trying with a few of the different audios. And I even thought, like, I still want to do like my voiceover over some of them, or try different messages, or like sing the ABCs and just see what happens. And then I've also started doing a little bit of putting, like, I don't know, I guess call to actions of follow us, or, you know, please follow us, or we so happy you're here, follow along for more, just trying different sayings and things. And on Instagram, I noticed a little uptick in the follows and things on a few of those posts. Not massive, but it went from, like, say 3 or 5 follows per 100 likes up to like 20 or something like that. So it was a little bit noticeable. But then I don't want to, on every post, I don't want to be like, follow us, follow us, follow us. So I don't know, like, so I'm just playing around with different things, just kind of seeing what happens.
Yeah. I was interested to know, like, was the audio overlays something to do because it was easy, or was there like a real reason? Like, was there something that resonated there? So just for all of that, has everyone seen Jennifer's one there? She had the voice audios. Has anyone seen that? No. If you haven't, all it was is, like, you might have seen Jennifer doing the salmon slicing, right? And those videos had been going off, and we talked about it last week. Like, they were getting like 500,000 views, like they were going through the roof. But we're asking, like, yeah, they were going really well, but they're getting no engagement. Well, I shouldn't say no, but like very little engagement. And we were trying to think, what are some other ways to get engagement? And we had some ideas of maybe most of the engagement or the viewership was actually coming from like Asian countries mostly, or Middle Eastern, or how can we get more English speakers, but also more New Zealanders looking at it. So we decided to do some call to action stuff that she could do to help with that. And that's something just to be mindful of those of you who are making content. Like, if you're getting regions of people that are no help to you, like if you're just getting people from Bahrain watching all your stuff, but you'll never get any clients from there, then, like, what's the point, kind of thing? So with Jennifer, she had very little actual audience who were watching. Her follower audience was all New Zealand, but her audience who were watching wasn't. So, Jennifer, when it comes to that, was that just like a ease thing, or did you think there was like a real was it something that you wanted?
I thought it could potentially get more, like, yeah, New Zealanders or English speakers kind of thing. Because I like all that motivational stuff. So I'm like, well, if I like it, then other people like me should potentially connect with it as well, and then follow along for that kind of stuff. And I did notice a little bit. I hate that Instagram doesn't show you where people are from. But like with one, it went to say over 44,000 views. I got more likes, comments, and a send kind of thing. That kind of stuff. So I was just trying to find what was a little bit popular kind of in New Zealand, Canada, US, that kind of thing, Australia, and just overlay it to see if that kind of pulled more people in. But then more so because I liked it and thought it could connect with like-minded people. That kind of thing. And then it connects back to that kind of, it's more that wholesome kind of content that we're trying to kind of brand towards. Like, I did one and it did have like a few fucks in there and stuff like that, and I posted it, and then I was like, oh, that's not quite right. But I thought, well, I'll just let it go and see what happens. But then it just kind of tweaked for, okay, for all these next ones, I'm trying to go with like not so much rage inducing things, but more inspirational and wholesome and nice kind of stuff.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah. So,
Is
but
Is
then
there like because salmon slicing is a little bit like Subway Surfers, like it's this visual candy, and you kind of just watch it for that thing. And is there a way to kind of self sort of reappropriate? So you're like, put the salmon slicing video in the bottom half, and then you do some other content at the same time. So you're kind of like using it for how it works, and then adding some of your like, you know, instead of it being like a found audio, maybe some other content that sits like above it, and so it's become a meme. Like millions of people watch them,
yeah.
and rather than so sooner or later someone's going to salmon slice while they're talking about some conspiracy theory, but you know, you could kind of get in first.
Yeah.
Would be quite interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of what we were saying last week. I agree totally with Roman. Like, I think don't overcomplicate the thing you're gonna say. Like, because just get used to doing it. And this is the first thing is just you should just be talking, Jennifer, about your day or your business or what's going on in life, like anything. Just get people already watching this, you slicing it. So just like let them see your journey, but to make it even like there is a worthwhile testing phase of having one camera on you slicing and one camera on your face talking, and split those up potentially, or like cut back and forth like we do on podcasts. So you'll have like maybe the main first frame is you slicing, but then it cuts to your face or something. I don't know. You play around with it.
Yeah.
Different viewership. But then, yeah, like Roman's saying, like make it your content. People are already sitting watching the salmon slice, so then give them something more of your journey. Like where you're going to get a local audience is when they start to buy into you and your story. Like that's really what's going to bring the followers. Like when they start realizing who Jennifer is and the We Smoke House, you know, like if anything, it's similar advice for Aaron and the Barons, because as they get this Willet Caramel to work, the thing why Willet Sourdough worked really well is because his little pops in that he would do, and he'd give his little perspective, and then people started to fall in love with him because they also fell in love with his Willet Sourdough. So, you know, like I think Jennifer, like, try, like, I'm not saying don't do audios, but I'm saying you could do the audio anyway. You can speak.
Yeah.
You've got nothing, you know.
And I
just talk about your day.
Because we mentioned before, like, just the LinkedIn posts. So because I'm going to be making more of those, then I'm just going to use those as audio as well, and then just get those out.
Also, just don't be afraid to, at first, because you're learning, you're trying to build a style. You're trying to get better on content, better on talking on camera. Like, don't be afraid to just ramble. Like, I know, like, it's not the best advice, like, to make perfect content.
Yeah.
But we're not really trying to make perfect content. Sometimes we're just trying to get comfortable speaking.
Yeah. I think there's a thing in your brain that makes you feel like you have to have this well-rounded out idea and all of the reasons behind it, and therefore that's why you're doing it. But that's not it at all. Like, you just have to start actioning. Like, for example, ages ago, I did this thing where I was just dropping spoons in my coffee, and like, I don't know how to explain it, but there was no rhyme or reason to of me doing it. I just did it because I was like, okay, this is part of my daily habits. Like, this could be something fun. Let's just see what happens. And then it became one of my biggest like performing videos series, essentially. But there was no thinking of like, oh, the way that I drop this thing is inspirational to people of the ages 20 to 23, and it gets across my personality of blah, 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 and whatever. Like, it doesn't. Like, just do and find your feet first that way by posting, rather than give yourself all the reasons as to why it's going to be a good idea. Because once you post it and you've done all this reasoning and it doesn't do well, you're going to be super upset.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes, I like that better. It's just easier.
And you're able to like test more things, because you can just like, I'm just going to try something every day. Like, you can cut a piece of salmon every day and test it and trial it. And then people will resonate with certain topics. Like that's how I did a lot of my content initially, was just like I talk about everything. And then I've started to learn like what the audience is coming back for. Like I actually used to think a lot of my audience wanted stuff around like content creation, but actually most of my audience likes more about the business.
Yeah.
They like me talking more about the business and the people in the business as opposed to like necessarily content creation stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe because I'm also not the best at explaining that stuff on camera, but they just wanted to know because I was just bringing them along for my journey, right? So I think you should do the same, Jennifer, because like I would watch that stuff, you know, like hearing your business journey.
Yeah, for sure.
And also just like how your life is, like what, like, you know, just everything that you like. Your business journey is so different to mine because I mean you're a mum, like. You know, there's so much more to it, right? Like I don't know how it is to run a business and also have kids running around. Like, I mean,
yeah, well, you do.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Okay, so that's cool. What I want people to take away from that is that Jennifer actually had a really good content style. She was getting hundreds of thousands of views every time she did it. But we had a look at the analytics and we realized that actually they probably weren't helpful views in terms of her business. So, which is good. It's good to know. Still want the viewership. So how do we iterate, right? So how do we evolve? And so she's tried some audios. Now I really think Jennifer should try her own talking on top, and like maybe what Roman said, like split the screen a little bit, could work as well. But that iterative process to making content is great. And even like with Roman, he could just post the video that we've done. Don't listen to any advice, just post it, see how it goes, and then from that iterate the next one. You know, because like it's always best to start with the simplest. Like if any of you watched our water bucket challenge that we did, Joni, like we started like no dialogue, no nothing, 14-second videos, tipped water, walked off, nothing, and on-screen text. And we did that for a while. Some of them worked, and then we just slowly iterated on it every time. Just, why don't we try this? Why don't we try that? You know, blah, 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 blah. And they continuously got better. I think it's like 100 and something thousand followers over that 50 days or whatever it was, right? So, but it was just by like making little tweaks, not like trying to get it perfect from day one. We're trying to get it actually simplest from day one.
Yeah.
It took us hours to figure out how to get it simple.
Yeah.
Like every time I had these, I mean, at one stage we were going to set stuff on fire, and then like realize that was stupid. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, cool. And then like I'm gonna continue on with the Will It Smoke series, because those ones or the other ones that I've done a little bit dabbling with, like the cured stuff and that has the higher. It has way fewer views, but it's mostly like New Zealand, Australia kind of viewership there. So I'm excited to see how that goes and grows the more I put that out.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely stick to that one. That one's cool.
Yeah.
That's a cool one. All right. Tonga, how you going? How you feeling about content creation? I haven't seen anything from you lately.
The last 8 weeks have been crazy. Like I haven't been home for like a week. I've been doing lots of traveling and work. But so it feels a little bit overwhelming. The LinkedIn posts, like words just freak me out. That's why I draw pictures for a living. But I know that would be a really key platform for us. So I need to figure out how to nail that. In terms of like content and stuff, I've been thinking about, we had a couple of ideas. Oh, there was 3 ideas I think that you shared around kind of day in the life, and then tell me your boss of Tongan, and then some design content. So I'm thinking we might do the design content on the Nest platform, and then doing the day in the life and just tell me your Tongan stuff on my Instagram. And I've had a few people who I've met who followed me on Instagram, and then they realize they find the Nest profile and they go on there and they're like, oh, Tonga, that's like a completely different thing. Like, so I think there's a huge contrast between people who know me and the business. and the feedback is the business looks flash. That's some flash stuff that you do. So I'm just trying to understand how to, because I feel confident doing all the funny random stuff on my platform if it kind of draws people to the business platform. I don't know. I don't think trying to do all of that on the business platform is a good idea.
I agree.
So that's some stuff that I'm going to work on, and just trying to set up Loom on our desktop so we can kind of do some screen recording and kind of create some of that authority kind of content for the Nest page. Because everyone seems to think we're quite professional and quite high end on that page. So it would be good to kind of keep that content going. I've done some we've put together some random videos. Partly I'm too scared to post them, but I might just post them on my personal Instagram page and just testing and seeing what lands. But at the moment it's a little bit overwhelming.
100%, just like that overwhelming piece of like, should I post it or whatever, you really do have to just give it a crack, like in some of them, especially when they're humorous. But also don't do stuff that you don't like. Like if there's something in there that you just don't want to do, don't do it. Just scrap the idea. There's heaps of ideas. So we can help you come up with more ideas. I don't think you should, if you're saying that you just like, I don't like this or it's not right for me, don't do it. Don't do it. If it doesn't sit right, but also in the same breath, when you're not someone who posts a lot and it's usually just nerves. That's really it. So there's two sides to this. It's one, if you don't like something, that goes to everyone. Just don't do it. Like if you start doing something you don't like it anymore, stop doing it. But also in the initial period, you're not going to like any of it. So there is a part you just have to push through because it's hard. Just make sure it's nothing in there that's like you feel like a dick when you post. Like like make sure you still at least the stuff that you're doing, like the design stuff, like recording the screen and things like that stuff's cool. There's no reason not to share that, and if you don't, you might not like to make it in the future because it might be too hard and too much effort or whatever, and it might not be a great content style. Fine. But actually there is a piece that you're just going to have to start posting. And I think like one of the other bits about LinkedIn posts that I wanted people to do is it's easier to create a written post. It's harder to post on LinkedIn because it seems more formal and legitimate than say TikTok, right? So it's easy to create the content, but it's somewhat harder to post. So one of the reasons I wanted you guys to do it as well, which I didn't want to bring up too early, but it was that like I really think it's easy to write stuff actually when you've got a structure, and it doesn't have to be long. The hard thing is actually posting. So if you can get to a point where you're getting like 3 or 4 out a week just because you're just writing some stuff, or even two, you're now getting out of that overwhelmed thought process, which Tonga, like where you're sitting is a real normal. Like it's where everyone sits. It's like there's overwhelm of like, okay, there's all this shit I've got to do. It's all got to be amazing. It's all got to be great. Where do I put it? Should I put it here? Should I put it there? How many pieces should I make? And actually the real answer is just like, just get one piece and just put it out tomorrow or today and start there. And then once you've done that, what's the next thing I can do? Like we got a person in our team at the moment who is like struggling a little bit with overwhelm, and I've been having a couple of chats with them, and the trick I use is what's the next thing? And so it's an account manager, so she's got a bunch of clients, and I've told her to just write down next to each client, what's the very next thing I need to do for this client? And it's not like big things like, I've got to plan out a whole new campaign. It's like, I need to email them about a meeting. That's the very next thing, the very next task. So she'd write them all out and she'd realize that, okay, so that's 4 minutes worth of work to do. And so it's no longer overwhelming. So she could do all that. And then if she's still got time, it's like, okay, well, what's the next thing after that once you've done all those? And so if you take that same approach to content creation and you go to yourself like, and I'm going to ask you actually right now, Tonga, like, what's the very next thing you need to do to make a piece of content? Or post a piece of content.
Yeah, I've got content.
Okay, so
I just need to post it.
Okay, so Which have you got one that you want to post or you think you could post?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so post it. We'll wait.
Yeah, right now.
We'll wait. Good. See, and that's for everyone. Like we should be celebrating Tonga what she's doing right now. Like this is
Yeah.
hard shit. And when you're thinking about just take like Janie just said, like one step after the other. Like we're not trying to get to 2 billion followers and all this money. Like we're trying to go, what's the next bit? What's the next bit? Like for Erin, for instance, your next thing could just be booking time in the calendar to plan out the next video. That could be your next thing. Just do that. Don't worry about anything else. Just get 30 minutes with the two of you or whoever else you need to have and go, let's plan the next video. That's it. Nothing else. Roman's next thing could just be like making sure he downloads Otter so that he can record the next lecture.
Mhm.
Yeah. This next thing. I'm just going to keep talking until Tonga's posted, just so you know.
Yeah.
And while we're in there, I'm just going to put in the chat for Tonga, but everyone else is a software that I use for screen recording. It doesn't have a subscription. It's a one-off purchase. So if you need anyone needs a screen recording software, this one I use. It records in 4K. Loom costs as like subscription, so it just keeps on costing you. But this is one if you need it. But yeah, so that's a real helpful tip. Like I use it as well when I'm overwhelmed, like when there's too much coming on, I've got too much in my inbox, too many clients, too many anything. It's just like, okay, fuck, I can't do it all right now. So what's the next thing? And then what it does is it builds momentum. So then I'm like, okay, cool, I've done that next thing. Okay, what's the next thing? Okay, cool, done that one. Okay, what's the next thing? And then I just keep going until the next thing is a meeting or the next thing requires one of the other things I've done to have happened. So like, for instance, I can't go and film the next Will It Caramel because I have yet to do the planning session. But I could book the filming because I could just put due date in, and I'll make the team do this sometimes. It's like, Nate hasn't written the strategy, but he's booked in the strategy meeting with the client, so now he's got a deadline to get it done. You know?
Mhm.
I mean, I'm sure the staff love me for making them do that, but like it helps, like, because the work fills the time. Like, if you give yourself the deadline, you'll make it happen in time. Yeah. All right, we posted, Tonga?
Done.
Where'd you post? Yeah, let's clap. Everyone clap. That was great. Well done.
I thought I was posting on my Nest page, but it went onto my personal page because I exported out of CapCut. But right, whatever.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. That's good. Love it. Well done. Well done. Don't delete it. We're gonna watch. We're all gonna go hype it up. Okay. So, Tonga, if you want, you've got a bit of, you're still trying to figure out like exactly the content styles and where they go. I definitely do think you can split them, and it's right. If you need any help with like how to structure that filming, because your filming is quite different and a bit harder than some of the other guys. Like the Will It Caramel and the Will It Smoke guys are hard, but they've all got a pretty good grasp on what they're going to do. It's just a matter of rinse and repeating. Your content style's pretty hard, so if you need any help with it, please let me know. Like if you're getting stuck somewhere, and I'll help you. Like we'll help you. Just like because you've got like 3 very different styles that are quite hard to do. So if you just want to pick one, because you're a bit overwhelmed now, so just pick one of them and just go, I'm just going to focus on this one for the next week, and I'm going to make 3 videos. Let's call it something like that, right? You'll tell us. And then if you just come back to me in a message or something and just say, Stan, this is my roadblocks of why I can't, or I can do it, but how do I make this better? Yeah, you just find it and I'll help you. Cool?
What sort of Facebook content? Like we have a good, I would call them fans on Facebook, so they aren't clients or they just love us and they're the ones who like our photos and comment. What sort of content should we be putting on there? Like same as kind of LinkedIn, but different words? Or same
I'd have to
topic?
look at the audience, but I wouldn't say it's too dissimilar to Instagram.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's too dissimilar to Instagram. I'd be surprised if the audience is like hugely different demographic wise. Facebook still loves a reel. The thing on Facebook, what we find is Facebook's like, especially in our country, like in New Zealand or like actually most like English-speaking countries, Facebook is used as a community thing. So like if you think about how you guys use Facebook now, it's usually for family or like close old friends, marketplace, community groups is like where you mostly go to it for. There's other little things here and there, but like those are probably your key areas that you use it. The rest, like non-English speaking countries, use it like it's Instagram. And like big time. Like there are people on Facebook with huge accounts just with reels just going off. And you can see that it's very like Asian, Middle Eastern, European style, African style of content. You can see the flavor of it. I mean, you can see the language of it.
Yeah.
That's enough. So my point of that story is that like virality on those platforms for your target audience isn't going to be necessarily reels and things, but it's going to be community engagement. Like how can you use that community feel to be quite interesting? Like we were like talking about it with One New Zealand about how we do their surprise and delights, where we could get access to local community pages as a person, and then like when we have like a local concert in a region, like there was comedy shows, where were they, like New Plymouth and stuff like that, and the idea was like getting into the community groups and like being just some random person, like have a random profile that just said, oh, is anyone free tonight? Like I got 2 tickets to such and such comedy show if you want them, and like give away comedy shows, and then when they find out, they're like, wait, you're One New Zealand? Like, what do you mean you're just giving away free tickets to stuff? But then like it starts to build this lore of like One NZ gets and knows its communities well, right? Or on Marketplace, for instance, the same thing where it would go, oh, nice Roman, on Marketplace where they could sell tickets to a big concert for $1. You know, it's like, oh, hey guys, I'm selling 2 tickets to Taylor Swift for $1. And One NZ are giving them away, right? And so it's like, how can you use the community groups to amplify your message on Facebook, as opposed to like just posting reels, where actually in New Zealand, it's not as common for people to go watch reels on Facebook as it is on Instagram and TikTok. Still happens. It's just not as commonplace for you to go watch it.
Cool.
Yeah. Get involved in the communities. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Last person that I haven't talked to yet is Rod. Sitting in the room. You posted your video. How'd you go? Oh, you guys are on mute. Sorry. Nate, you're on mute.
You go, bro. It's all yours.
Yes, bro. It's good, bro. It's got the highest viewership in our reels at the moment, so that's pretty cool to see. There was me and Dave sat down and we planned out, okay, what other ideas can we come up with? And we did a bit of content searching and bit of brainstorming. We got all these ideas. The problem was we didn't plan them out enough. Came to shoot on Tuesday and we went to shoot last night. We had all these ideas. Oh, which one are we doing? And we ran out of time last night. I shot a little a cop out one, which is all right. I'm still gonna probably edit it and post it. But I'm just on the discussion today. I think the takeaway for us is booking time, storyboard. They take more time than in an hour. You know, like even though our version of videos would probably be the easiest out of everyone because we're at the gym, set it up. Still, like the shots, the characters, they still got to take into account. So I kind of threw it on Daesh a few days ago. I said, hey, I've got my videos planned. I need you to plan one and shoot one as well. And he's, oh shit. So we started, rather than, it's easy to scroll and look, oh, that's a good idea, let's do that. And then when it comes for us to do it, it doesn't transfer over, personalize it. And we went to do one last night, but it was a little bit too similar to the previous one. So I scrapped it and we went for something else. So bro, the planning, storyboarding, setting aside time is probably the big thing for us to ideas, but it doesn't count for shit if it's not planned down to a T. And you know,
Yeah. What I would do first and foremost. So those of you who don't know, Daesh is doing an internship with us at the moment. So he's coming in and working with some of the guys just to learn content creation. And then hopefully if he learns a lot of stuff, he can help stand out a bit more in the gym and things like that, but also just for his own benefit as well. So what I'll do is, Daesh, you've got access to the team. And at lunch, they all sit there talking shit. But what you could do is be like, hey, I've got this idea for a video with Dad. Like, can you guys help me like map it out? And they will, because they can't not help. The guys on the team can't not like give you their feedback. They're all very opinionated. Don't you worry about that. So like, just get them to help you map it out. Like, because like one of the hard things about like planning content is that that in itself is a skill. Like, it's the skill to be able to plan content too. And so you could take hours planning it. But you've one benefit you've got is that Daesh is in doing an internship with us at least, so he can at least go to the guys and go, can you help us plan it out and get that one thing, that one idea mapped out. But yeah, you're right. I think it's like being the common thread today is just like, how do we prep our time as a team to go and make content? Because last week and the week before we had all these bits of content to review in the Teams chat, and like we don't now. So like there's like it's quite hard. Like it's hard to make content constantly. I mean, that was Nick's whole thing. Like he's like, yeah, like we want to do it, but how the fuck are we gonna actually make all this happen? So I think, Rod, like you're no different to everyone else here, but the planning stage, if you are struggling to plan what it takes to plan, there's a couple things you can do. And I think that not a lot of people do this enough, but I know Joni uses it heaps, is just using AI to help ideating and figuring out stuff. Do you want to talk like just a little bit about how you use it?
Well, like I'll start off with whatever the concept is. Let's say for myself, and it can be very big. I'd be like, can you write video ideas around being a 20-something-year-old girl trying to find her way in New York? And then it would just come up with really, really like basic ideas or things that you've seen before or whatever. And you might not like them at first, and then you'll realize why you don't like the ideas. And then you just input that next. It's like, okay, take these ideas and make them more about career. And then it would change again. And then I'll put in another one. Okay, make it about specifically content creation in my career. And then it will slowly give me a better foundation of like video ideas, essentially. It's never going to give you the perfect idea, and it's never going to give you a full script that you love and all of that stuff, but it's a great way to just start thinking, because the worst part is a blank page, right? So if you just have like literally any of your prompts, can you give me video ideas as an interior design company, female-led? Okay, what don't you like about it? Give it feedback as to why you don't like it, and then it'll just keep giving you stuff. Yeah.
And then once you've done that, so you've helped it do that, or you got some, like in Rod's case, he's already got some ideas. The next prompt is, okay, I need a film plan for this. Can you write me a film plan? And then it'll just do the planning for you, like of what you need to do, right? And now, like, it's not going to be perfect either. You could say, write me a film plan. I've got one iPhone and access to a gym. Can you write me this based on that requirement, right? Give it more. The more specific you are with the AI, the better it is. And the reason why I'm telling you guys to use AI for this is like the same reason I told Roman to get Otter. It's just like speeds the process up. Like you just do things a lot faster. You can do more with the limited time that you've got. So I love it because like the reason I love using AI for this is that it gives you structure that you didn't know existed to come up with the thing that you're trying to plan. Like the next cohort that we're doing, one of the things we learned from your guys' cohort is that we probably should have given like a pre-cohort questionnaire out to everyone to help speed up the process of like gathering information. And so I just asked AI to give it to me, and now I have to edit it. Like it's not perfect, but it gave it to me in a structure of a survey that made sense, and it had all the bits, and I hadn't missed anything. So just like when you're stuck on how to do anything, like use AI more. Like it's just a tool. It's not going to replace anything, but it is going to help you get there. So Rod, like I would try to do that. Like your content style is not a new content style. It's something that like the AI's probably got enough data on knowing how to solve for. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Just on that note, I'm going to set myself and Desh our own homework for 2 videos from me and 1 video from Desh to present for next week.
Nice.
Love it. I love it. That's so good that you started that, because that was exactly what I was going to do next, is go round the robin and go, everyone just make a pledge of what we're going to do for next week, because technically next week's the last week. I know we can extend this on and we're willing to help you for at least another few months, but let's make a pledge. Like, what are we going to do this week from a content production perspective? And Nick, you might not make a video, but like, I still think that like from some of your ideas, like potentially a LinkedIn post or something like that, you know, like at least something to help build your brand. And so why don't we just start, like Rod's given his, who wants to go next, and just like, what are we going to commit to and doing this week from homework? And be aggressive. Like, it's better to shoot for the stars, right, and get somewhere, than just be like, oh, I'm going to do 1 LinkedIn post, and then do 1 LinkedIn post and be like, great, everyone else did 12 videos each. Like, what are we going to do? Who wants to start?
I will get all 7 videos edited. I've got lots and lots of video that I need to edit. And I'm going to get out 4, 5 LinkedIn posts.
Love it. There we go. Set the bar real high.
I need to write that down so I don't have to forget. Mind you, the videos aren't going to all go out next week because I'm gone for a month. So I'm trying to spread them out and get it all done. But I have to edit everything.
Edit them all and chuck them into teams for us so we can all at least watch and give you some
Yeah, that's
feedback.
what I was going to ask. Do you want us to like post every single thing we do into teams?
I want you to
Or
post
just like a
everything you want some
couple?
feedback on.
Okay.
I want you to post things you want feedback on. Like, if you, that's what it's there for. Like, we'll give feedback. Everyone else is jumping in, giving their own feedback too. So, like, why wouldn't you use it, right? Like, it'll just make your content better.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Cool.
I'm going to do 2 LinkedIn posts, 2 Facebooks, and 2 IGs, Instagram.
Love it. Nice. That's so good. Can we actually do what Nick just did too? For those of you who've already said yours, type it into the chat. Maybe Nate, you could write Rod's in for him. Again, type it into the chat. So can you say it once more, Tom, just so I can get it in?
So we're going to do 2 LinkedIn posts, 2 Facebook posts, and 2 Instagram posts.
Nice. Love it. Huge week. All right, we only got 2 left. We only got Roman and Aaron. Roman's like, oh, fuck.
1 LinkedIn post.
Come on.
You got 2
Yeah,
LinkedIn
I
posts in the
became a
video.
lecturer so I could tell other people what their homework was, like that. No, all right. So I did 1 LinkedIn post already. I'll do 1 more, and I think I need to, like, maybe I can try to write 2 scripts for video. I don't think I'm going to film them. No.
Are you going to post that other one?
Yeah, when I get there. Same as Tonga.
Did I just hear him say yes, he is going to do it?
Are we going to wait? Are you going to do it?
Are we just going to sit here and wait? You know that video cost me about $300 to make, right?
Oh yeah.
Guilt driven.
Oh, is that all? Oh, no. Okay.
No, I think I Roman, you don't have to do it right now because it is a pretty new style for you. But
yeah,
I would like you to try do it. I would like you to try do
All
it
right.
this, unless everyone
I'll do
else
it
wants
this
to peer
week.
pressure him.
No. But hey, yeah, there is. Okay, now that I was thinking about actually posting it, I think I'm still not sure what channel that lives on. What does everybody think?
I think LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
Do it,
Oh yeah.
do it on
So
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn and then do the horizontal on LinkedIn like that. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, all the vertical doesn't matter. Like whatever, like vertical still works on LinkedIn as well as horizontal, but I would definitely post on LinkedIn. It is a good video, like actually a good video.
And we'll all share it.
Yeah. I'll tag all my
Yep.
Wintec mates on there who are
Oh,
academic
yeah.
cheaters.
Interesting.
They can,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
If you do it now, I'll repost it for you.
Yeah.
Oh,
There it is.
yeah, do it.
Oh.
Okay.
I love it. I love it. Okay, cool. We got some cool stuff. I like it. What else? Oh yeah, everyone's in there, right? Yeah, perfect.
Does like TikTok and things, if you have a personal account and then like your business account, and you post something on your business account and then from your personal account go and like it and share it, does TikTok know you're doing that, or does it think you're just some random person?
I don't really know, but we do it. We always do it.
Yeah.
So you don't really know. I think it just adds to it. The attention seekers profile definitely boosts videos when we repost them. Definitely. Like we'll have staff who will get 200 views a video, like someone who doesn't really post videos, and then they're kind of being forced, just like Roman has, to like post a video, and then they'll get like 200 views, and then attention seeker will go repost it, and it'll go to like 4,000.
Yeah.
Because they're probably known characters from our TikTok as well. So then when we repost it to our audience, they're like, oh, that's Don from blah, 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 you know. So it starts to work. So it does have an effect. I just think like you're reposting it to your audience. So if your audience doesn't have a lot more or different followers to your business one anyway, then it won't really make a difference.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. But definitely like the thing we've noticed, well, the thing we've learned as well, because Instagram CEO came out and said it, is just that like the sharing and reposting of content is the biggest determinant of its success these days. Like it switched. It used to be really just like raw engagement and retention time, but now their idea, especially on Instagram and Facebook, their thing is if people like sharing a piece of content is like a very good indicator of I want my friends to see this, therefore it makes it a good piece of content. So they're prioritizing that. So yeah, so anyway, reposting off your personal account, it does help. Just depends on how like the audience on your personal account is.
Yeah. That extra reach. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. Like definitely we had the Health Now one kicked off after we reposted that one. That Sam from Health Now. We had a video on our clients' accounts, Health Now, which took off, got like 150,000 followers in a day, but it started off relatively slow. Like it was going okay. No, it wasn't slow. Shit, it was just okay.
Yeah.
And then when we reposted it from Attention Seeker, because it was filmed in where we do all our presentation ones, it just put the turbo boosters on and went off from that point. Yeah. So because it was like similar content to what that audience is used to seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Roman still looks like he's away getting it on.
Yeah, I am just learning how to actually do this in real time. Okay, so I've got the thing. Do you reckon that I need to write anything about it, or
Write that thing that you said. What was that catchphrase? Essays the new. Oh no, how to's the new essay.
Oh yeah. Why didn't I actually link to that article as well?
And while he's doing that, for everyone else, we've still got 15 minutes or something. If you got any questions, feel free to fire them at us. Because that's really what I wanted. Like this next week, I want you guys starting to make stuff. And that's why I really want you guys to come back in the next cohort, because I realized I didn't give you enough time for us to make content and review it, which is why I want you to keep coming. And we'll continue to do this even when we're in that first 4 weeks with the new cohort, teaching them stuff. You guys can still put stuff in the chat. We'll still review it, still give feedback until that time. So don't worry about that. But I realize, so this is where we're at. I know we're not quite where we should have been by this stage, so we're going to go a bit longer. But is there any questions about this? Because like today's was really just, I just wanted to be a bit of a check-in before next week's call. So any other questions you've got? Anything I missed today that you want to ask?
Not necessarily relevant to the content, but I was wondering how we get the deck.
Oh, you're cutting out the Aaron. Your vocals cutting out. I think you were saying, are you going to get the deck of everything with all the stuff that Nate did? Is that what you're saying, with all the positioning and things? Yeah.
Asking about the deck, the positioning, if we're getting that nice tidy little bow.
Yeah. We'll get that all tidied up. Yeah, we pretty much got it all. We just actually should just send it out. I think it's already done. Actually, I think Nate already finished it. Actually,
I think you can download it too.
Yeah.
From Teams.
Yeah. No, we'll get it back out to everyone.
Yeah, we'll put it back out.
Yeah, I think the positioning one's already there. Yeah. I think the only thing we hadn't done is put the campaign stuff together, which instead we're still workshopping that with you guys, I think, is why we hadn't really put it into that. And so what I would rather in that instance is us still work on it together, Aaron. Like still work on the campaign over these next few weeks. Like don't give up, because like I know that we're not where we should have been. I realize that now that we got to this point. So I'd rather just keep working with you, workshopping it, giving you the feedback. And then once we've done that, we can put it together if you need, but you'll be well on your way by that point to have it.
Perfect.
Yep.
Also really appreciate that. Looking forward to doing it all over again.
Yeah. No. We appreciate you guys. Like, it's been a huge learning for us. Like, next time you'll find that it's actually a little bit different too. So if you do come back next time, so actually a little bit like as a way to entice you guys to come back next time, is that we've got our whole team doing it next time. All 30 people are in the cohort. And we're broken up into groups. There's 6 groups, and we're going to allocate clients to each of the group. And then so they won't be taking the class. Like Nate, myself, Joni, we'll still do it. You can't shut me up if you tried. So I'm still going to run it, but then you're going to have like a group lead whose job is it to like keep you accountable, be dedicated to you. So there'll be like 2 or 3 clients in each group. And so we're taking our whole team through it because us 3 learned so much through this process from you guys. We learned just as much as you guys learned, honestly. Changed a whole bunch of our business because of this group and the way we present to clients because of what we learned from this. So we're taking our whole team through the next one. So if you do come, like, trust me, like, it'll be a lot better and you'll get a lot more out of it. Even if you just want to, like, just come. Just don't be a dick. Just come. It'll be fun.
That's good.
Yep.
I posted it. It says it says we'll let you know when it's ready. So I don't know, maybe it just takes a bit of time to process. I also, while we were here, I got this really nice comment from a former student who just says, "Thank you, you get it. I got a lot from time with you." And I was thinking about it, like, because maybe you guys, in order to be effective, you're kind of hard on yourselves too. But it's just been so good as it is. Like I've learnt so much from it, and it's just wicked. So the fact that you're inviting is just like super over delivering, and that's amazing. And I guess even that, I was just like it opened up my mind as to think about how I might keep going. You know, like, who knows, will these education providers like exist? You know, like, I'm like attacking the essay. It's like, meanwhile the buildings are crumbling. You know, so it doesn't you know, I might need to move quicker as well and work out how it fits into a different part of the career and using these skills in a slightly different way. So it definitely gave me the sense that could happen, and that could be an interesting thing. It's just told me that it's now uploaded. So it's going. Okay, there it goes.
Yeah. There we go. Thanks, Rowan. And
The internet's about to go down, literally, and the whole internet's going to stop. You've broken the internet.
Yeah.
Like influencers and collabs and things. When we're looking at influencers to pick or to like approach, should we look at people who can who are similar to our products and our brands, like for us with like Ashby pies and things, or should we just do anybody and everybody that could potentially be interesting and, I don't know, do some cool stuff together with?
I mean, the answer to that is going to come to budget. Like, do you have the budget to do everyone and anyone? If you do, give it a crack. But not all of us have unlimited budget. So I would say try find the right partnerships. With any of that stuff, I think actually the best way to do it, because I think we put some stuff in teams. If you've got some influencer stuff that you really want to look at, email me about it because I'll action it better there, because Shai will help me deliver on it. So like Ashby and stuff. But in terms of like finding the right partners, I would try typically the best people from a purchaser, like an influencer who could get people to buy, is someone who actually it's normal for them to review stuff. You know, like if you're going to go get someone who like we're not the best company to give product to because we don't do review content really at all. So like people do send us stuff all the time and fine, but like we're not the right people to do it. It's different when it's like we partnered with Flight Coffee because we have coffee content all through our stuff. So it makes sense like for us to partner for a coffee brand. But it doesn't make sense for us to like Cully's always sends us stuff, and Cully's are great. Like don't get me wrong, like Cully's sauces are awesome, but like they're not the right team to do Cully's stuff. Like we tried to make some funny content out of it, like because they're cool people, like we like them, but like we're not the right people. So you want to find people who do that sort of stuff. Like and one of the reasons I was sort of talking to both you and Aaron about Ashby is that like when he makes a piece, like his particular way, he's a really good creator because he doesn't even want to necessarily get free stuff off you. He wants to be able to like create a collab product with you where you both win.
Yeah, I met him last weekend
cool.
when I was in Auckland. Awesome. Yeah, so I'm gonna send him up a bunch of salmon, and he's gonna create a pie, and he's gonna sell the pie in his shop, but use our salmon with it and just create a bunch of videos and things. So
that's so good.
Yeah. So thank you for that.
He's actually the coolest dude. If you guys haven't been to Ashby Pies in St. Heliers, he's so good.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah. Aaron, you should definitely. I don't know if you've already talked to him, Aaron, but yeah, like
we've emailed, but we haven't hooked up yet. Next week.
Cool. Because he also owns, I don't know if you know this, but he owns Mint Cakery in Auckland as well. So his business partner owns that, which is the more cake style shop for more sweets. And then Ashby Pies is the more, it's the more pastry, savory stuff as well.
Mm-hmm. But he was looking at doing a more sweet pie, trying something sweet. So you might be able to get in there with that.
Yeah.
But,
I gotta go, guys. I gotta go to the next thing. So thank you.
All good.
Okay, set up for 10x.
Well, thank you.
Cool. Thanks,
team.
See ya.
All right, guys. Any other final things before we go?
Any
other questions or anything?
Loving the rings.
I am just going to reshare Roman's video like I promised.
I might switch over to Steel.
So that's done.
Cool. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's a little bit scary, but cool. I can't wait till next week. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Awesome. All right, then. Well, look, if we haven't got anything else, we'll see you all next week. Please, Tonga, like I said, if you need any help with anything, please get in contact. I'll give you a hand with what you need to do. And Daesh, don't be afraid to use the guys because you're there. You may as well. Mm-hmm. And then also, if you do that, take notes of what they tell you and please share it next week with the rest of the crew so we can all learn what you learned as part of that planning process. Yeah. Cool.
Awesome.
All right, then,
Thank
team.
you. See you guys next week.
Good luck for the week. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Catch ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.